Hey, come on, bring it in. Come on, listen up. Listen up, bring it in. Hey, I'm Coach Mickey, and you're on Fourth and One Mindset. And today I want to cover something that I feel is very valuable to us, not only on the field, but also off the field, regardless of what you're trying to accomplish within your life. If winning or losing is going to define your life, you're on a rough road. That was said by Bud Grant. Bud Grant was a head coach for 18 seasons for the Minnesota Vikings. He was also a multi-sport athlete. Not only did he play baseball, but he also went on to play professionally for the NBA and also the NFL. And he was pretty amazing person. Not only did he bring the Vikings to four Super Bowl appearances, but he had 11 division titles and one league championship. He was pretty amazing, and his outlook and the way that he coached was pretty profound. You know, if you can look more into him and see who he was and what he did. However, that quote resonated with me quite a bit because I think so many times we really pride ourselves on that if I get to this and if I do that, that is going to be the marker of where I've made it or it's enough. And the reality is that I think what we do in our lives, whether it be on the field or off the field, has to really be part of who we are and the journey. You know, life's a journey, it's not a scoreboard. And a lot of times during our games, you know, when we would be playing and I can see that things were kind of going haywire, I would tell my guys, look, don't even look at the scoreboard. Just don't look at it. Just go out there and do your job. The scoreboard will take care of itself. You know, winning and losing are going to be part of the process, and they're not going to define who you are. However, it's nice, it's great. You know, who doesn't want to win? I mean, we all do. That's how we go. Okay, the winning is a great way to celebrate and know it's a major accomplishment. And I agree with that. And that's what's going to get us to our Super Bowl and our success and everything that we're going to do within our lives to know that we've made that marker to move above and beyond. But I will tell you something. Just because you win one Super Bowl or you win one division or you succeeded in one area, that is not a place to get comfortable. Because once you get comfortable, I can tell you right now, that is going to be the demise of your success. You don't go out and go, "Oh, I won one Super Bowl, I'm good," you know, or you don't go out and go, "Okay, I won one game, I'm good, I don't need to do anything else." No, that is the marker that says, I'm capable of doing this. And I have, and I've given it everything I've got, and I made it happen. And now what? Now, what's the next step? How do I go on and get better? How do I reassess? How do I change things to be able to make it not only successful with that aspect, but with everything else that's in my life? And just like real life and like in every other game, again, you're going to have the setbacks and the adversity. And, we're always going to deal with that, when we're trying to achieve a perfect record. And there is no such thing as a perfect record. There's always going to be something that's going to be there to get you to that you've had to go through around or over to be able to accomplish that success. So the value really is in the lessons, it's not just in the results. And whether you win or lose, it's going to teach you something of value. And having that marker of winning is amazing and it's great. And celebrate those moments because you want to be able to say, hey, I did it. I got this far. Everything I worked for made me, who I am and brought me to this point. However, what's next? And you have to be able to look at different things in your life and go, okay, so where is the next step? What am I going to be able to do? There was a line that I absolutely loved from one of my favorite movies, Cool Runnings. I don't know if you guys ever saw it, but it was about the Jamaican bobsled team. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's an old one, but it's really good. And I've had the opportunity to interview the driver, Dudley, who was the original. Jamaican bobsled team. And, and he told me it was, there was a lot of things that they went through. Think about it. You're talking about a bobsled team from a country that doesn't even get snow. Talk about passion and drive, right? But one of the lines that was in that movie, and now whether it was actually said or whether it was just written in, I don't know, but it was something very profound. A gold medal is a wonderful thing, but if you're not enough with it, you'll never be enough without it. And I think it's pretty profound in the way that it's like we pride ourselves on getting to certain points, but that's not the end of the journey. The real win, the real reward is the balance that you have in your life and who you are and finding joy in the process and leaving a legacy. And when I say by a legacy, it's not so much having a statue put up or that, but it's like your actions and what you're doing. Are you creating a path? Are you creating something that other people can look up to? I mean, so many of my players look up to certain NFL players or pros, and they're like, I want to get to that point. But then I always tell them, I'm like, yeah, I think that's amazing. It's nice to have a mentor and it's nice to have something to strive for. But look at the journey that got them there. What took it? What did they have to go through? What took them to be able to get to that point? What things did they have to overcome? What injuries? What obstacles? What things? I mean, and that's the other podcast that we're going to go over. But looking at that, there still comes a point where there has to be the balance. Because I've seen NFL players make it all the way and do really well. And then their choices and their actions cause the demise of either their career or their finances or everything else. So anything you do, you have to look at it as a full picture of everything that affects your life. I think we have to look at a couple different things. One is what is the balance? Where is the balance not only with your relationship, but your job and your health, and your mental health too. You have to have that key element that's going to bring that. Our life is so hyper focused on winning that sometimes we forget that these other things are just as important. Now, some of you that are listening to this that are maybe younger and in your 20s, and you're like, well, I don't have a family life and all that. However, things that are going to transpire in your life and in your future. And if you learn how to balance everything now, it'll be easy for you when you get older. And what I mean by that is take care of your health. Make sure you're eating right. I cannot tell you how many times I have gone out on the field and I can see one of my guys are so sluggish. And I'm like, dude, what's going on? And they're like, Coach, I didn't get a chance to eat. And I'm like, why not? You know, and for multiple things. One is either they haven't made it a priority or they don't have the means to be able to have that extra meal. And so I've gotten into the habit of having a box of protein bars or something where these guys can grab it. And even then, I've even worked with my parents and said, hey, can people please make a bunch of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches so we can have it after the weight room, so we can have it after practice. I've gone to places and said, hey, can you donate and give us some stuff so I can nourish my guys either before, after a game, and that way it helps them. But it's so, so important to take care of your health. Um, what I mean by relationships, there's a lot of times where we're so involved with everything, and I'm talking to those of you that are laser focused on the success in your life, and that's great. But you have to take time for yourself and you have to take time for those around you. And you have to have a perspective to prioritize what truly matters in life. And look, if you take an hour or 2 hours or a half a day to go do something else than what you're focusing on for your success, that's not only going to help you physically, but it's going to help you mentally. Which leads me to the next thing, is I've seen it so many times with burnout. Everybody's laser focusing on just training, 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 and knowing that they've got to get to something and they have to do it. And if they don't spend every waking moment taking care of this, they're going to be passed by. Yes, I love the passion. Yes, I love the dedication. And I think it's pretty amazing. However, there is a miracle in the middle where you have to be able to build your success without the burnout, because I've seen it happen so many times where somebody comes out and they're like, I just can't do this anymore, and not only that, I've seen it lead to injury. I've seen it lead to emotional burnout. I've seen it lead to where things are just being sacrificed within your life. So there is a miracle in the middle, and you've just got to find that balance. And my suggestion would be pick your time. If you know that you're going to train, have that set time that you're going to train. And if you have that time where you need to set and work on your goal, set and work on that goal. If you have to set meetings, set those meetings. Do everything you can, laser focus on your success, but you have to do it within a balance where you can not only celebrate the small victories, but also find the joy in the journey. So these are just some of the things that we can look at when we're trying to create the success that we need in our lives. Get out there, do what you do, and look at it in every aspect and look at what can I do to be able to do this in a fashion that's going to make me whole, not only as a person, but in everything that I do within my life. So until then, bring it on in, bring it in. Start strong, finish strong, and dominate everything in between. I'm Coach Mickey. Go get 'em.